So if you've watched my video on Bitcoin, this is similar. These are all just different crypto tickers. And yeah, the title says I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because I don't have any sort of positions anywhere in crypto. I don't even have a crypto account. So I'm basically just analyzing it because as I've been noticing over time, it is actually acting more like the stock market. Like for a while there, I couldn't even analyze it because it was just totally all over the place. But as big money stepped in, it's starting to follow the same sort of rules. They are a little bit, different. Like there's more volatility, but it's something that we can analyze now. So I'm going to take a look at HUT. So since I just analyzed Bitcoin, I can tell you this looks very similar. We have even more of a pronounced cup and handle here though. So a lot deeper. The cup goes a lot deeper, and that is probably why we're having such a big move off this cup and handle. So what you normally do with a cup and handle is you can measure the move that you're going to get off the breakout on this handle, which you would generally get. It's not guaranteed you're going to get this move, but we can try and measure it. So basically, I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to switch to this line tool. I'm going to go to the bottom of the cup, which is going to be right about here, and I'm measuring to the top of the right side of the cup, which this is the resistance that we had to get over to make sure that we were in this cup and handle breakout. So I'm going to measure right up to about 1101, and then there's my line. So that's the depth of our cup. And so this is where our breakout should be going, which is quite a breakout. We're looking at somewhere around 1850 to 1870 area, which would put us, this is completely something that is believable because it's once we get into all-time highs, we're in blue sky breakout, we could go this high. There are no levels. There's no resistance. There's no nothing up here. So that's definitely feasible. So what's going to stop that from happening would be some sort of resistance. And the only resistance that we have left on this chart is this level, which isn't much, but this is how high we touched, $13. So that's our next resistance other than today's candle where we're at. And if we can get through that 13, then all we're going to have to watch is going to be the psychological levels like 14, 15, 16. But then it's not going to be a straight fire up, even if this cup and handle does play out. We're going to have some retracement. And again, this is just like the Bitcoin chart where we can keep an eye on this EMA 12 because we can see that we constantly come down to this EMA 12 on the daily. We break through it, then we break back above it. So we bounced off of it and we always come back down to it. So if you're in this position, you might want to take some profit, or if you want to hold for that full-on cup and handle breakout and try and get the full rally, then you can do that as well. But just keep an eye on that EMA 12. Okay, so now I'm looking at the Ethereum chart, and this one is breaking out as well, but it's not as big of a breakout. It doesn't look like a big cup and handle breakout. What I'm seeing here is this inverse head and shoulders, shoulder, head, shoulder. So if that plays out and we can break through this resistance here, I've plotted out these levels. The difference between this chart I see is that we build some strong support. Like you can see there's some strong support right there and strong resistance right here. So we have some strong resistance to get through in this chart. So 39.70, that's a strong resistance level right there. You can see right here, there was multiple touches, multiple rejections. And when we rejected it pretty hard. So we're going to need to get through that first, and then if we continue up, we're going to need to get through that 41.80, which had multiple touches, and then we rejected hard. So those are two strong support levels, strong resistance levels that we're going to need to watch on the way up. And how far are we going to continue up? We aren't that far off of that EMA 12, so we could have a big move over the weekend, or we could retrace back down and then bounce off of it again and then try to get over those levels. But we're definitely in an uptrend, and it's looking like a pretty healthy uptrend here. So good for the bulls. Okay, so now I'm looking at Litecoin, and this chart does look a little bit weaker than the others, but it is, we are getting some strength. We changed the daily trend. We just got through some pretty good resistance here. We need to see some follow through, but we did break the 189.6 level, and we are trying to get over that SMA 200, which is going to be a good move for this one. This is definitely a strong level. I mean, look at how long we kept touching that level over here. We rejected, came all the way back down, came back over, rejected, got through it, came back down, and just been playing with it, touches off of it, burst through it, come back down. This is a huge, huge resistance level. So if we can get through this and see some follow through, then we could see a big move happening with this chart. BATUSDT. So this one is definitely weaker than the other ones, even weaker than the Litecoin, because we just kind of broke through the SMA 100 here, and we're sort of just dancing around that level. And so this is going to tell us whether we're going to be an uptrend or a downtrend. It's been a lot of up and down, a lot of indecision here, but it could possibly be an inverse head and shoulders as well. I'm going to just draw that on. So this is an early pattern detection, and I'm not a big fan of that, but in this case, I'm doing it because of all of the bullishness in the sector, because sectors will generally run together. And so I see this as a possibility because the rest of the sector is bullish. So that could definitely happen. We need to get over this SMA 50. You can see we rejected it here and we came back down. So we're basically stuck between these two SMAs. That's why I call it indecision. We need to break through one of them one way or the other so we can know whether the bulls have control or the bears. We would probably lean towards the bulls because of the rest of the sector though. And so if we reject this SMA 50 again, and then we get below this SMA 100, I just identified this trend line that we could watch, because you can tell that this has been support throughout this whole move. Yes, we broke it here, but then we came right back above it again. So that would be what I would watch if we were not to hold this SMA 100. So we want to hold that SMA 100 for the bulls, and if not, then we'll look for this trend line. HBARUSD. So I have charted this one before, but basically looking at this triangle, the symmetrical triangle, we're still filling this out. Yes, we've broken it, we broke it, we come back in it, we break it, we come back in it. So I had a smaller triangle in here I was watching on the hourly, and we are just getting tight. If we can continue to fill into this triangle and just keep getting really super duper tight, then we can look for a breakout, especially if there is a lot of bullishness in the sector. I'm not sure if this runs with the sector or not, but this is generally what happens is we fill in this pattern, we get super duper tight, volume drops off, and then all of a sudden we just break out. So that's what I would be looking for here. And so if this is what's happening here and we are looking to fill out this pattern, we're looking at a few weeks here. So this is one that you're going to need to be patient with. I'll flip this over to the weekly and you can see what it looks like here. This is when it looks like if we keep continuing to fill this out, and like we're forming a nice weekly cup and handle here. So a weekly cup and handle would be a nice breakout. So if you are holding this one, you can be patient with this and just keep an eye on these levels. So I've got these levels up here. If we dip below these levels, then we're in trouble. And definitely watch this SMA 100. Otherwise, we can continue to fill this out. We could dip below it a little bit and come back into it for a while now. Okay, so that's all I have for this analysis. Let me know in the comments if you appreciated the non-biased analysis, or if you just want me to stay away from the sector. I can definitely appreciate that as well. Just let me know in the comments, and then if you want, I'll do another one of these next week. Okay, thanks. See you in the next one.